Hi, and welcome to Doozy UI Manager, or also known as Doozy UI version 4. The system went through a significant change from a monolithic architecture to a fully modular architecture that allows it to work with basically any type of UI framework. The new design was implemented to accommodate the use of UI elements and the new input system. All the editors are made with Editor UI Elements framework, and the old input system was replaced with the new input system, and also all the systems were changed. This video shows you how that works. All right, I'm inside Unity. This is a new project, and I've started with installing the new input system. I did that because when you install it, it requires a Unity restart. Of course, you can install Doozy UI before that, but I wouldn't advise doing that because you still have to restart Unity, so why not do it beforehand? So basically, I installed the new input system and then I installed Doozy UI. I'm not going to show you the installation process for this UI. So basically you just click the package manager and install because it adds a lot of files. Mostly there are micro animations to show different things inside the editor. It just makes it nice and easier to understand without labels. And this process of creating the library for all of these files takes some time depending on your system, on your hard drive, on your processor, and so on. Just know that this happens only once at installation, and after that it doesn't matter. Another thing to note is that all of these files, most of them, are for the editor side to give you a better experience, and they will have no impact on your actual project, the one that you're building. So they have no say in your runtime systems. It's just for the editor. So I'm gonna select the folder, the Doozy folder. And here you see you have it structured in 4 parts. Actually, 2 are the ones that count. The others, you can just delete them. It doesn't matter. You need the runtime. This is the runtime core. These are the files used for your system, used by the system for everything that runs in your build. And of course, the editor part. And these are everything that you see here, even this editor heartbeat, runtime heartbeat. Everything is run by these files. You have some extras, and we created some prefabs to show you how to use the system. And I'm going to show you in a few minutes what's inside them. So you have some prefabs, a lot of prefabs actually. And they're all added to a new subsystem, the UI menu. This is a prefab management system with some visual elements. I'm going to show you in a minute what I'm talking about. And some examples. There are only 4 right now, but we will be adding more, as we will also be adding new subsystems. Just an idea to keep in mind that Doozy UI doesn't exist as a system. It is made out of several subsystems. So you have a UI flow subsystem. This is Nody or Node Graph. You have the UI Manager that has components adapted to Unity. You have Reactor. This is an animation engine specially designed to work for the UI. You have Signals, and this is a messaging system, and so on. There are a lot of subsystems that are designed to work together. They are highly modular, and you will see that even in code, and even if you want to create your own components or add your own things, you can do it. All the systems are designed to recognize one another and to work together, including the things that you might want to add. So if you have a bigger team, your coders can create specific components that you might need, and your designers can use them, and so on. Enough talking, I'm going to show you the system now. So you'll see that after you've installed Doozy UI, you have tools, Doozy, and you have a lot of options here. One of the system is the UI menu. This is where you have a lot of prefabs, and this is where you have the most fun actually, because you can add all of these components right there in the scene. You just click it and there you go. A canvas was created, a child was added, this button, and of course an event system. I'm gonna undo that for now. So you'll have a lot of fun with this. Note that everything you see here, this entire menu, and trust me, it's quite big actually, is also found here in the context menu. So if I want to say container, basic, simple container UI view, I can also see it here, simple container UI view, same thing. So basically whatever you add, because you can add things here, you as a designer, you do not need to use any code to add things here. So whatever you add inside this menu, you also have available in the context menu right here. So right click, Doozy, do you see it? Yeah. But I recommend to just use this and anchor it and just use it as is. Of course, if you say, let's say left, and here you'll have everything that has the left tag or name. This is the left arrow. I'm going to click it and there you go. I have a left arrow. This is actually a button. All right. Another system is the Nody system. This is a node graph. It has an inspector that works just like the Unity inspector, but for nodes. So I'm going to show you a node graph and how it looks. Let's go to the examples. Let's kill this. So let's go to examples, not extras, examples. The first one, and I'm just going to double click and I'm going to put the inspector here. There you go. You also have a mini map that you can use should you want to see it. I don't know. And these are every single node that form a UI flow. Of course, this is a very simple example. This is example number 1, if I am correct. Yeah, example 1. And this is how the flow works. We will touch on this in later videos. This is just to show you that you can view the way the flow works. So if you go from one view to another, this is where you should do it. Let's close this and let's continue. Then you have the UI Manager. Here we have databases. You can set a category and a name for every button, toggle, and so on, or a slider. Or you can name a view, let's say main menu, settings, main menu, player, and so on. So you can name your views and then call them later. I'm not gonna enter in details on how this works because there will be later videos. You have input settings for now here and about the system, what version this is. Everything is animated. You will notice that there are a lot of animations. These are basically the micro animations that I was talking about. And it just makes everything look nice and polished. Here you have a search. You can say left and you will find where left is. Everything is connected. If it doesn't find it, you'll have this no results found. It just works. Then you have signals. Signals is something new in the system, just like the UI menu actually, but you had Nody in version 3, if you're familiar with it. You had the databases that you just saw in the UI Manager. You didn't have signals. Signals is I won't say an evolution, but it's light years ahead of the game events that existed in the previous version, where you could set only strings. Now you can send a lot of things through this messaging system. So I'm going to show you I'm just going to add a button to, where's the UI menu? So let's add a flex button to this scene. There it is. Let's set up the event system. So the event system is set with the old input system the first time you add it. So just upgrade this and let's enter play mode. I wanna show you the signals, the way signals works, because this is one of the most important subsystems inside Doozy UI. It connects everything. So as you can see, the button is already animated and you can play with it. But if you look in the signals window, you have a stream, you have an input stream and a button stream. And when I click it, you'll notice that this was clicked. And here you're gonna see what happened. Click on, you have here none and none, you do not have the button name. So let's name this, actually can I use, yeah, let's go action, add to cart. So if I wanna click it, you're gonna say action, add to cart. Basically, whenever you click a button, a signal is sent. And this can be captured in Nody, in the UI flow, and do something with it. And you can also capture it in code in various ways, actually. And it's quite easy. Most of the times you use a receiver and just connect and disconnect to this stream. I'm going to show you in later videos. I'm not going to enter into details. I just wanted to show you how these work. So whenever you click it, you have the stream that sent the signal and what signal was sent. You have this information available to you. All right, let's delete everything and let's continue. Reactor. Right now you cannot preview presets, but there are, I think, over 1,600 animations ready to go. Show animations, hide animations for containers, for views, loop, button animation, state animation, and so on. And you have settings. Like I said, Reactor is another new component that replaced DoTween, that was a third-party asset. And Reactor is a value animator engine. It's basically a tweener, but not exactly. It is a bit different. And it works both in the Unity editor and at runtime. And it can do all sorts of things. And to optimize it, we have two cores. We have two heartbeats, actually. We have an editor heartbeat that currently is set at 60 FPS. You can go to 120 if you want to, but we recommend 60. And runtime is set at 90. Again, you can go lower, higher, max FPS. It depends what your requirements are. We capped this because you can uncap it if you go to max, by the way. We capped this because it saves battery on your device, especially for the runtime core. And also it does fewer calculations. If your FPS is over 60, you will not do more calculations. So this is a very, very powerful optimization. It was designed specifically for UI work, and that's what it does. All right, so here you have the editor heartbeat and runtime heartbeat. Every single animation that you're gonna use inside Doozy UI version 4 is run by this system. And here you can see how many reactions are currently active and what their FPS is. All right. And finally, this is the biggest system inside the system, and it's a extension to the editor UIElements framework. This is the thing that creates all the custom editors, and as a bonus, or I don't know how to say, there is a way for you to use it. The components inside this system were specially designed to be used by you in your projects. So if you have a big project and you are creating custom components, you might need custom editors. And UIElements doesn't really have a wide range of elements. It doesn't have a design system, a color system, even an animation system right now. So you can use that. You can set your colors here. You can create the database. Of course, you can see it right here. You can add fonts and reference them. layouts. These are XML files. Micro animations. Remember I told you there are a lot of files. Well, these are the animations that you've added. You can also use them for your custom editors, by the way. And there are quite a lot. Of course, you can preview them. So I can also scrub through the animation, play it in reverse, play it forward. And if you hover the mouse, you can just preview it like that. There are a lot of animations. Yeah. There you go. And you can basically use them in your projects. Again, selectable colors for in editor. If you notice here, for example, I move the mouse over this save option. The icon animates. It's a micro animation. And it also changes color. And this is the selectable color. This is a very powerful system, and it's designed to look nice and to work well with UIElements. And everything you see here, the entire editor, is made with this. But this is for more advanced users, for bigger projects where you will definitely need custom editors. But you also have access to this framework, and it's very powerful with a lot of customization options. So here, for example, I move the mouse, you can see it's a small animation. You can also see, of course, the tooltip and so on. All right, so that's the system. These are the basic things inside of it. And I would like to show you the UI menu now, just a tiny bit. We will discuss it more later. Where is it? There it is. So this new version comes with some separations because we needed to give a structure to define design elements. And we have three main categories. We have components that are UI selectables. Everything that is everything that the user interacts with is a component. This is a button, a toggle, checkbox, radio button, switch, slider, and so on. So whatever the user can interact with is a component. So let's add one. Let's add a flex button. Again, we need to set the input system to the new input system. And this is a simple button that is pre-configured. It's called flex because it contains content size filter, horizontal layout group. It's specially designed. I personally had to talk with a lot of people to teach them how to use basic Unity components to do this. And what I mean by this is the following. Let's say you want to inverse the icon with the text. Normally, you would have to calculate and see how to put them. With this setup, you can simply drag and drop. There you go. You just change the positions. Now, let's say you want to change the button size according to the text. Well, this does exactly that. And you can even swap back and it will work. So this is why it's called flex. It's nothing special. It's our UI button with the options for animations and so on. And we've set it up with horizontal layout group, content size filter, everything that is native to Unity. A normal button, actually I'm gonna add a native button, Unity button, just to show you what I mean. So let's add one with Text Mesh Pro. If you change the text, this is what happens. It's because you didn't add the other components and set them up properly. The flex button is just a name, by the way, does this. If you're losing localized content, you may want to have this on your side. For example, at least you can learn how to do it. It's not that hard, and this is a real life example. There are quite a lot of them inside. If you're not interested in using the flex options, did I close the UI menu? Yeah. All right. You can use a simple button. same thing, but it behaves like the native button. Yeah, nothing special. Now, I've shown you this, but how does it work? Well, let's enter play mode and let's check it out. Notice I didn't write a single line of code, right? So there you go. And it also has the selected state. And it also works with touch. So my screen is touch sensitive. So if I touch it, notice how this works. This is when I touch on the exterior. There you go. It just works. And I even have a controller here. Let me just enable it. So this is an Xbox controller. And I can click it. Check it out. I'm just looking at the screen to see what I'm doing. And I can also select. There you go. And I didn't do anything. No code. Of course, this works because it uses the native Unity navigation system that is here. And we can also see it via these arrows, right? So let's say, let's duplicate. Come on. Let's create some other buttons. Yeah, I'm just going to put them like this. And now I would also like to change the color, something like that. Doozy also knows how to handle colors, and you will see that in a tiny bit. Let me show you. I don't know which one is an eye color. This one, yeah. Let's make it like that. And let's also add a color to the flex button. Do you have an image component? Yes, you do. There you go. And also to the icon. And let's make it like that. Yeah. And the text. All right. So basically, we just created these things, and I'm gonna show you something interesting. So here we have a color animator. Notice that normal, highlighted, pressed, selected, and disabled states, they are different because you can set a lot of options, a lot of color options. And let me minimize this. If you change the color, these also adapt, right? This is going to be another tutorial, but I just want to make you aware that this is a very powerful system. Again, Reactor does this. So yeah, let's enter play mode. And you will see that each button has its own settings. Check it out. Again, I'm going to select it. Now I'm going to use the keyboard. So, and enter. Again, I can also use a controller. And I can also use my finger and just click the button that I want to click. There you go. Yeah, I'm clicking. Yeah. So, yeah, this is the system in a nutshell. Let's say I want to have a container. So I told you about the UI menu that you have components. A container is a special component that actually a special UI element that has show and hide animations. You can show and you can hide it. And it can contain other containers, components, and content. Content is the third big category. And this is images, text, whatever UI element that is static, it's not interactable and is not animated. It's usually content. Actually, it can be animated. You can add an animation and say it's content. I think we have some product cards here. So let's add a product card. Let's see. So this actually, let's move these buttons out of the way. Let's delete them. And let's add a container. Let's take it. I'm going to add a UI view. All right. I'm going to zoom out. So this is a UI view that has a category and name. You can set them up. And it has a move, show animation, and a move, hide animation. Let me check it out. So it's going to move from the left side of the screen, actually from this side. and it's gonna hide to the right side of the screen, right? So let's enter play mode and let's just see it. Now I'm gonna show you a bit how powerful the animations are. So hide, show. What happens if we change the landscape from landscape to portrait? Well, it really doesn't matter because these animations are math-based. Reactor already knows how to do it and it does it for you. There you go, hide, show. What about changing the position? Well, I'd like it to come from the top and I would like it to go down. Check it out. Show. I'm gonna hide. Show from the top and then goes down. Let's add a rotation for the hide animation. Let's say minus 180. So hide, show. Let's add a scale animation for the show animation, a scale part. So let's scale from a bigger to a smaller. So show, hide, and show. There you go. And this is how it looks in the game view. There you go. If I want to save this animation, I can either create a preset or I can just say copy component, exit play mode, and then paste component values. And there you go. You have all your settings already set. So like I said, inside this, this container, this UI view, I'm calling it a container because the UI container is the base for all containers. And for components, it's UI selectable. And that's why we have a UI container, UI animation here, if you noticed it. All right. So let's go to let's see some content now. So let's see. So this is a basic overlay. Let's add a product card. We even added these to show you how they look. This is nothing more but a combination of different components inside this UI. So if you mouse over, you can add it to your favorites. Yeah, let's delete it. Let's add another one. I'm just gonna do it in play mode so you can see what I'm talking about again, depending on what you would like to see. One more. Again. There you go. And you can even say, let's add a vertical layout. So you also have layouts pre-made for you. So a vertical layout, and inside of it, I'm gonna add some content. This is so damn easy. Let's add some spacing. Let's close this. Let's enter play mode. Of course, this is quite big because we didn't. So there you go. It just works. Yeah. Actually, I think the canvas resolution is an issue. So let's set it to 1 full HD. Yeah, something like that. 0.5. These are just some settings that you can create. There you go. And of course, because we added them to a UI view, you can hide and show. Hide, show. It's not the greatest animation, but if you're not good with animations, well, you can load. So let's go to show, presets. Let's go to zoom animation. Let's load it. Let's see how it looks. And let's also add a zoom animation for hide. So zoom, hide, show. There you go. Let's also add zoom 13, load. So yeah, you get the idea. You can change everything any way you want. And we also added one more thing inside the system. Another example. This is quite a long video. I'm gonna cut it right here. The tabs layout. So basically, a lot of people had issues when creating a simple tab system in Unity. It's really not that hard. This is it. It uses our UI toggle group component and some toggles, and of course some containers, UI containers. And let's enter play mode so you can see it. It's not that hard to make. So A, B, C, there you go. And of course, you can, what am I animating? Let's animate the view. You can do it like that. B. Again, we can use a controller. This is what I'm using here. So I'm gonna B, C, come on. I don't know what I'm selecting right now. C, yeah. There you go. Yeah. Or we can use the keys to control it. I don't know what navigation options are set here. Let's see them. Oh, they're a bit crazy. They should be explicit for this particular example. Anyway, this is the system. This is just the, I don't know, a quick introduction because it's a very big system. I didn't even show code, and there are going to be tutorials about coding and so on. But this is an overview of what you can do, and you can actually create a lot of things. Let's say I want to create my own button. Well, you can create a prefab and you add it to the UI menu. So this was the introduction for Doozy UI version 4, Doozy UI Manager. And next we'll be adding a lot of tutorials for each component and then for different workflows. Also, there are going to be tutorials on examples, and we will also try to create live streams for you where you can ask questions, and I will try to explain different things, how they work, how they came together. All right. Thank you for watching so far. I know it's a longer video than I planned, but yeah, I can talk for hours. All right. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.